Welcome to lesson 5 of Photoshop image manipulation. What we're going to do now, after you've finished erasing around the edges, you've added a bit of shadow, what we're going to do is look at changing this and making it a bit more surreal looking. So the first thing I'm going to do is set the color of this. And just to introduce you to it, down on the right hand side in the layers panel, I'm going to click on the top layer and then pick this little option which comes up down here, and that's for creating new fill or adjustment layer. And I'm going to pick hue and saturation. Okay, so now when the hue and saturation layer comes up, you'll either get a dialog box come up, or here it comes under adjustments on the right hand side panel. Okay, any of the panels, if you don't have them, you will find them up in window here, and you'll be able to select the appropriate panel that you want. Okay, now under adjustments, you can actually make the fine tune this as you feel fit, but I'm going to use a default one, which will change this to sepia. Okay, so you can play around with different ones. You can see I've got lots of sort of strong saturations and so on. But if I do sepia, I'm taking most of the color out and making it a little bit more surreal, because this is the whole idea of this image that we're doing. So I've done that. Now the next thing I want to do is add a new layer. Okay, down on the bottom here, I've got in my layers panel, add a new layer to the top one, and I'm going to fill this completely grey. So if I just go to edit and fill, and in the use, I'll say use 50% grey, and just say OK to that. Okay, so now that we've got the 50% grey, it does look as if our image has kind of disappeared. But what we'll do is on this layer panel, I'm going to pick on from normal at the top, and I'm just going to say linear. Let's say linear light. Okay, so now I've got this back. Okay, with the linear light now, I'm going to pick filter, and we're going to add some noise. Okay, so with the noise, I'm going to pick add noise, and on here I'm going to say probably about maybe 10%. I'll do a Gaussian blur, and I'm going to make sure it's monochromatic, which means it's taken out the little red bits that you can see there on this. Okay, so I've done the monochromatic, and you can see I've got a preview of it. It does look a bit too strong though, what I've got. You can see, so on that layer, I'm going to take the opacity down, let's say to about 30. And that's starting to look better. Okay, now essentially what happens here is when you zoom in the image, you can see that I've got quite a bit of consistency. So what I mean by that is that the backgrounds and my models have this same kind of grainy noise effect on it, making it look as more like it's in the same image. So it's just kind of like a trick of the eye that does that for us. Okay, and that's pretty much it for this section. Okay.